What team are you on?
The kidnapper.
Team Kidnap.
Yep, team kidnap.
It's a very important part
Of
of the butchering process. We like to refer to it as kidnapping. This is an expert job for only the most skilled elite team. Just load them up into a crate. We have an actual chicken transport crate, but we also use this one. Honestly, once they're this big, it's hard to fit too many in the chicken transport crate. So anyway, probably grab about 9 or 10 at a time. We are almost done. This is our last batch. So and then we will transport them back to the execution station. Here are my expert kidnappers now. They're the team leaders. This is our first step in dispatching. We only do this once a year, so we've got a pretty low-key setup. Premier 1 kill cones. Mounted a little hook to catch the blood, and Corbin likes to tie their feet just so that they like to stick their feet in there, don't they?
Yeah.
They'll stick their feet, they'll walk their feet down in there and kind of pop themselves back out. So he just kind of ties their feet up. There's our real chicken crate. It works really well for transporting. The goal is to not cut too deep so that they're not going to feel anymore, because the blood's not going to go to their head. But slice the artery and they bleed out. They don't feel anything, but all the blood comes out into the bucket, which we'll put over in the compost pile when we're ready. These are the tables we actually process with. We got kind of a mismatch of hoses because we have to get water to multiple stations here, but we use one table to kind of finish cleaning them off after they come out of the plucker, cut off their feet and their wingtips and head and things like that. And the other table for actually eviscerating and whatnot. Put them downhill so the water goes down the hill away from us. Hooked up a little hose, little drain kit so it drains away. Everybody has to have a bucket for guts and pieces and a chair to sit at. We really like these knives. These are Victorinox knives, or Victorinox knives. They're super handy, flexible. After they've stopped flopping around, you just keep a bucket of clean water. Not really necessary.
Yeah, I found
Easier to change out the clean water than the hot water.
True.
I found one of
So
these
we just
things.
rinse them off a little bit. Get off some of the nastiness. These are Cornish cross jumbos, and they are not the cleanest birds, even though we keep them on fresh grass.
This I found in the woods. I mean in the
You found that in the woods?
yard.
That's because we live by the beach.
No, we don't.
Oh, right, we don't. All right, and then we're gonna put it in the scalder. Go for it. We were having trouble keeping our turkey fryer lit, so we just put a couple pieces of plywood up. But this is my wife's job. She's been keeping this to keep supply of hot water, keeping it real hot. Well, it's not hot yet because she just filled it up, but keeping that really hot, and then using this smaller stock pot to maintain the right temperature. What temperature do you like?
150.
150. And just kind of agitating it to get the water under all the feathers. I think they do this for about 40 seconds or so.
It'll like start to peel easily. See that? That's how you know it's done. Side? Nope. It's your turn.
Have to
put it into our plucker. Turn the water on.
Wait, we gotta cut the feet off.
All right.
You can turn the water on.
If she found that if she didn't cut the feet off, they would get.
We peel our feet.
We peel the feet, yeah. If you don't cut the feet off, they get stuck in there.
That's when we can't get it out. And the bowl is made more like that.
So we peel those and keep those for our chicken stock. A wet job.
Done?
All right. Then they come over here. And what are you doing to it?
I'm finishing plucking all the feathers and cutting off the wingtips and head.
So it does a good job, but you still got, especially underneath the wings, some stuff to pick off, but it comes off real easily. So we just kind of finished cleaning it. Don't worry about the head because we cut that off.
This is our dog.
That's our dog. What's his name? Boondog.
And we leave out the noble farm.
So we're going to just cut around the head. And then just pull it right up. For the wing, there's a little nub right there. Joint where you can kind of get in there. Cut around it. That's right off. Oh! So now that it's mostly defeathered, we've cut off the head, we've cut off the wingtips. This guy's wing actually broke in the plucker, but that's okay. The first thing I do when I'm ready to eviscerate is cut off the tail. So on its back, hold the tail and just slice straight down. Easiest thing to do is flip it over. There's actually a scent gland right here, so you want to cut up underneath it, just cut around it. Sometimes it comes right off, and sometimes you just twist and pull like that. Now we're going to put it back on its back. And I don't know if this is the way you should do it. This is how I learned it. So just pinch the left side, his left side, my right side. Just pinch the skin, pull it out, and just slice a little bit like that. What we want to do here is free up the crop, which is this little bag right here. If we hadn't stopped feeding them, this would be full, very full. So what I do is just kind of reach my thumb around it, my finger around it, and pull it free. And you want to disconnect it from the breast. See, I'm pulling, all that tissue's kind of coming loose. And so now it's pretty open in there. The other thing is there's the esophagus and trachea. So loop your finger around it and pull that out. Find the other one, which is right there. Loop your finger around and pull that out. Now all of that is free, so that we can now turn this around. And I'm left-handed, but let's see if I can do it this way. Just to cut right above the two hip bones there until you get a little hole through the fat. Put your finger in there, and I can tell this guy's gonna poop a little bit. Just rinse that off. I want to put my two fingers on those two hip bones and just pull that open like that. Okay, and keep that. So now, you know, you got the kidneys and stuff in here, and everything's attached with this fat layer. So you just really just reach in and just gonna break the fat. And now you can see how everything is already real loose. So I'm basically gonna reach my hand in there, scoop around and pull out. And if you pull, this crop and the esophagus and trachea should come out with it. So that's why we did that first. So just reach around, pull, and here comes, see there's the crop right there. It all just comes out. I just let it dangle over the trash can. And now just cut alongside each hip bone, and the anus and the vent comes out. It's all in the trash can. Now, you might want to save the kidneys if you want to. We just compost everything and then put it back on our garden. So now what's left, these are just little fatty deposits, but that's the there's the heart, and then to each side underneath the heart are the lungs. They're separated by a diaphragm. So I'm going to pull that diaphragm out of the way and pull the heart out. There's the heart. Now you can really see the lungs. They're along those fleshy things at the very front, way up here. So you have to kind of hook your finger down along the rib cage and pop them up. And I'll show you what they look like here if I get one out without destroying it. See, they have these little fingers. Those go down in between the ribs. That's why you have to kind of almost like scoop down and around and pull them out in one swoop. So now it's pretty clean. I just kind of scrape the rest of the goo out, and then I'm gonna turn the sink on, do that a little bit, get all that stuff out of there. Nobody wants that when you're processing the animal. Really make sure you get this area clean. And just give it a once over. I see I still got a little trachea that didn't come out, so I'm gonna pull that out. Make sure everything's clean. One last rinse. Now it's ready for the cooler. Now that we're cleaning up, I just wanted to do one more video about our equipment real quick. This is just a regular turkey fryer. I kind of been looking at different ones, but it likes to go out in the wind. That's why we had that little wind break. I did get an extra large propane tank, and that's been helpful. This is a Premier One scalding tool under their scalding section. It helps hold their feet. I don't know, not really worth it. We just use it to stir. Hey, make sure you put all your feathers on the compost pile. That's really helpful. This I got from a local store. There's the item information. You know, it actually didn't work. We got it for free because it was returned as a defective, but we just fixed the switch on it and now it works great. Basically, this bottom spins, the sides don't spin, and the water just sprays from all the sides, and it bounces around, it flips everything out. But it's really easy to clean. All the feathers come out the bottom, so I like that. I showed you these tables already. I think they're from Menards. They're super cheap. It's nice because we fold them up and put them away for the rest of the year. Don't need them. Actually, one of them we use in the barn as a table in there. So just got to clean them off and they get out of the way. It'd be nice to have a stainless steel table someday, but we don't really butcher very often. We just do chickens once a year. So, and then this is nice when the flies and bees get bad, just a big fan. So again, we've chosen to do it here where we're in the shade, which is really nice. And we're on an incline, so all the water and nastiness kind of washes away. And it's pretty far from our house, so it doesn't bother us too much.